Welcome back everyone to another market review for E-mini NASDAQ. Today's Friday, September 13th. And today was an interesting one. It looks like it was a copy of yesterday following that seek and destroy type of profile. Really didn't have anything clean going into that morning session. I was mainly looking for sells. I'm going to show you guys what we could have framed up maybe going in for the day, which was possibly a long, but again, it wasn't really clean. Really yesterday and today were more of days where you just sat out and not engaged in any kind of price action. And of course it all had to do with that Wednesday CPI that we had, that high volatile environment going into the day. And we also didn't have any high impact news, which did affect the way the market was going to react probably today. So here we're on the daily chart, and like I said before, I was mainly looking more for a sell. I'm going to show you guys why on the 1 minute. But in terms of the levels that I had marked, here we have this new day opening gap here, and we also have the current new day opening gap. You could also mark out the consequent encroachment of this order block as well. I just don't mark it just to keep the charts a little cleaner. But for the most part, it looks like price is drawing towards these highs, which if we dropped into the 15 minutes to get a closer look, these highs up here, they're really clean. You can see how there's going to be buy stops above these highs. Retail is looking at as resistance practically. So the market is going to be drawing towards these really, really clean highs, which overall from the day we were only about 1.4%. But again, we've extended so much already on Wednesday due to CPI that we had yesterday consolidate, and even today really, really ugly price action going into the day so far. But as we can see here, price taps into that new day opening gap. We do a manipulation leg, taking out sell stops all below these lows. We also have buy stops above these really clean highs. We take both, come back down, bullish order block on that 15-minute time frame. In addition, we're below that midnight opening price, and then we see price head higher and then going into that new day opening gap. Dropping down to the 1 minute to show you guys how you guys could have possibly framed the setup going to the day. Again, I was mainly looking to be short because we have these really equal lows down here. We were also slightly above that midnight open. I wanted to see this bearish PD array, this SIBI here, stay filled, and then we respect that, and then we head lower, possibly displaced. But again, it looks like price really didn't want to do that. So I'm going to show you guys how you could have possibly framed maybe a long going in this day rather than a short. So analyzing this, remember we have a bullish order block here. These two down close candles were engulfed by these three up close candles. You draw that out. Look at how we respect look at the bodies, especially the wick. Look at how they respect that consequent encroachment. And something else to note here is it's from the 1030, here's 1030 on this candle, to the 1050 macro. ICT talks about how sometimes it's good to just wait for the, those 30 minutes after that 10 a.m. opening price. You're going to see a little bit of cleaner price action going in. Again, we're also below that midnight opening price. That's your midnight open. If I could zoom out here, that's your midnight opening price. And not only are you below midnight opening price, you're below the 10 a.m. opening price. So you have a double discount, as I always like to call it. So again, we see price trade up, sort of violate. It hasn't technically violated yet, but you can start anticipating it due to the volume. This down close candle treated as a fair value gap. Look at the consequent encroachment being respected there. We trade up, completely violating this bearish PD array. And remember, we just took a ton of sell side. So that's also another big thing. We see price trade up, small fair value gap. That's a possible entry there. Right after that, after this, it gives you more confirmation. You can get in there. Low resistance liquidity environment. That's why you have so much speed in here. We see price trade up, breakaway gap, trade up again, reaching this high. So you could do probably about one partial, then two partial, leaving a runner on to get back to that new day opening gap. Or you could just get out right here, which is definitely viable as well. And then as we can see here, price starts to consolidate leading into that. Remember that 1050 macro starts right there. We take sell stops right here and right here. Anyone trying to chase the buy, fill this. Look at the wick, respect the consequent encroachment of that. We trade up, trade back down. And something else to note is look at how we respect the consequent encroachment of this candle. As you can see there, we trade back up into this. We come up, bullish order block as these two down close candles are engulfed by these two up close candles. And we see price respect that. Even look at the bodies. Look at the bodies respecting that order block. So it's really important you guys have these levels marked on your chart. And then again, we also have a fair value gap here. We trade into it. We come up higher, order block, trade up higher, order block. And then we finally reach that new day opening gap. And as we can see here, we receive a sell-off after tapping into that new day opening gap. So again, remember, you have that 1150 to 1210 macro right between here. That's why, we saw price finally starting to head higher. But something else to note is we also had this retail trend line. As these really clean highs, retail is trying to sell that, looking as that as resistance. So all in all, like I said before, it wasn't necessarily a very clean day. I wanted to see more of a short scenario to take out these equal lows because we took buy stops. You know, we were interacting with the consequent encroachment of that daily order block. We displaced lower, leave this open as a breakaway gap, and then maybe trade back up into this one, and we displaced lower, possibly filling all this low resistance liquidity environment all the way down here and maybe even down here. But again, it is to be expected because of what we had on CPI. And even that, we just didn't have any high impact news going in for Friday. So it did limit the amount of volume and volatility that we were going to see going in for the day. And heading over to DXY to show you guys what I was looking for going into the day. We were bearish on dollar. Again, if we were bullish technically for NASDAQ during that 10 to 11 a.m. ICT silver bullet model, you do ideally want to see them go bearish. But I'm going to show you guys also the really unfavorable conditions that DXY presented. We have this new day opening gap here and this one here. I wanted to see DXY possibly trade into here for looking, if I was looking more for the sell, see him drop off, tap in here, maybe get a discount and then we trade up, but it just didn't do it. And showing you guys the 15-minute chart just to show you guys, you know, we tapped into this premium SIBI here on that 15-minute. We come up, we displace lower, equal lows here, and we have another one right in here as well as this upper one in here. I wanted to see price respect that, but again, like I said, unfortunately, we just completely blast through it. And if we also mark out that 10 a.m. opening price, we're also in a deep premium, as if you think about it, price is about 0.10% above that opening price. And you're interacting with the new day opening gap at the same time. So it's multiple PD arrays working together in one here. But again, we see DXY trade up upward, which is not what you want to see, because if you bought during that ICT silver bullet, you want to see DXY trade lower, but it's just choppiness all throughout this session. And you can also see that here on the 1-minute chart. Look at this chop. You know, nothing here is favorable, nothing here is understandable. It's just complete consolidation back and forth, taking out buy stops and sell stops. So once again, you know, most likely a day to just sit back, you know, watch the market and not really do much. The week was done right on CPI for Wednesday, and you know, that's it. Close your laptop or go to the currencies, for example, go to gold or something else. Because really on these type of days, you know, most likely people might be blowing their, you know, funded accounts or even regular personal funds as well. So really you got to be really careful when engaging on these type of low probability days. So that was the market review, guys. I appreciate you guys watching this video. Hope you guys found it insightful. Please leave a comment, subscribe, like the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next market review. Peace.